Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zeng Kong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Tubten Tarji. We pay homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today. White Maha Padma Kumara and the Padma Kumara Yidam. Smu Tanchen Katso Tutan City. All Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do?
I still Shanghai Hola amigo Che quiero mucho Scrolling 一句啊 Kimochi Jimmy Yappy Bling bling こんにちは那现在通知大家
I would like to announce
next week
for next week, October 2nd,
下午3点 PM
Sunday at 3 p.m.
将做在彩虹列藏寺将
at
做
the Rainbow Temple. We will have the Mariji Homa fire offering ceremony. This deity
这个非常灵感，还有这个
is very responsive.
有经典，你们看呢？
There's the Mariji Sutra,
威力无穷。
and reading the sutra, you would know that her power is infinite.
那经典上写着麻利之天，
And the sutra, it was written in the sutra
之前疾走，
that Mariji travels in front of the great sun and has tremendous power.
你念了麻利之天咒，或者是麻利之天经，
By chanting Mariji mantra or sutra,
有无量的功德。
you will gain infinite merit.
它是我们生活中
And
两个大护法，
she's one of the two great protectors of Two Buddha School.
大力金刚，一个就是
They are
麻利之天菩萨。
Mahabala and Mariji Bodhisattva.
And 这一尊的这个手印，
And this is the mudra.
这是这个手印啊。另外，它还有有声印，
And there's also the mudra for invisibility. It's like this.
在日本的忍者
The Japanese ninja
唯一拜的就是
worship only Marichi.
日本的忍者
Japanese ninjas. And this is the invisible mudra.
那么这一尊呢，曾经跟师尊呢打赌。
And this deity once bet with Grandmaster Lu, and I lost. Made the bet, Marichi was amazing.
他可以当那个护法，让我们生活中有很多
She's
古人的护法。
a protector for many to Buddha school disciples.
那今天呢，我们的父母是莲花童子。
Today's Homa is Padma Kumara.
莲花童子也不用介绍。
I don't need to say more about Padma Kumara. We all know about him.
以前
In the past, before Grandmaster Lu, there was no Padma Kumara known.
才有莲花童子。
And after Grandmaster Lu,
也就是
then
莲花童子的净土。
Padma
莲花
Kumara
童子的净土。
started to be known after Grandmaster Lu. So
其实
that's the Pure Land of
我的化身，
Padma Kumara.
这就是阿弥陀佛。
And Padma Kumara is an emanation of Amitabha Buddha.
我看到第一个
The first one that I had the vision
莲
on
花童子在印在这个敦煌的那个去参观敦煌的册子上面，莲花童子
that Padma Kumara's name was printed
就是中国，
on
就是中国大陆莲花
vehicle visiting Dunhuang.
大学、
That was China.
南中大学
And also Lanzhou University
莲花童子研究，
is doing or did research on Padma Kumara.
中国甘肃。
And Lanzhou University is at the Gansu province of mainland China.
莲花童子研究，所以莲花童子是
So Padma Kumara
莲花童子。
is recognized by China.
不是我讲了，他们才印的，他们本来就印，就已经印好了。
They published those not because I spoke on
莲
it,
花童子，
but they did it. And nobody else talk about Padma Kumara except China. So China is great. 先讲个笑话吧。 Let me first share a
在
joke.
监狱中有两个犯人，
In
互相的诉，
in jail, there are two prisoners complaining to each other. And A asks,
抓进来。
how did you get in?
犯人乙回答：因为感冒。
And he said, oh, because I caught the cold.
十分疑惑，
And B was really
怎么会因为
curious.
被抓呢？
How come you were
犯人乙就解释，
imprisoned because you
我
caught the
正在
cold?
偷东西的时候，打了一个喷嚏，
And A said, oh, because I sneezed when I was stealing and woke up the security guard.
这个妈妈问小明：“小明，你看。”
And mom asked me,
考试100分。
Ming, see,
才考50分。
your sister got 100 in her test, but why did you only get 50? And Ming replied, well, I followed your instruction. And mom couldn't understand. What did I say? And Ming said, because you said that if you can be half of your sister, you're good enough. 甲问 A asked B,
老婆了。
should I get a wife?
娶呀。
And B said, sure.
甲问娶几个？
And how many?
乙回答，当然是
And B
要娶2
replied,
个。
of course, 2.
一夫一妻制嘛。
It's
那怎么会是2个呢？
monogamy, right? Then how come 2 wives?
一夫一妻就是一个夫人一个妻子。
This is play of words in Chinese. It's not one husband and one wife, but it's one main wife and one mistress. One.
一夫一妻制。
So play of words of Chinese.
下午不太舒服，请假去看医生。
So I didn't feel quite well and went to see the doctor.
不能够承受。
And I could barely
这个检验书里面写
bear the result.
没有病，明天还是
The
要去。
diagnosis is that there no illness at all. You have to work tomorrow.
好了，我们进入主题吧。
Now we'll get to the main
马来
topic.
西亚莲花一如问的：
Question from Lianhua Yiru from Malaysia.
无上的师尊，你好。
An Excel Grandmaster, how do you do?
弟子莲花一如想请示师尊几个问题。
Your disciple Lianhua Yiru would like to ask you a few questions. The 1,
能往生马哈双眼寺。
with 8 million recitation, can allow one to be reborn in the Mahatwin Lotus Ponds.
弟子应该快速
So within a certain time frame, should I complete the amount
要太去执着，
as soon as possible, or we shouldn't be too attached to the number
但专心的念上师
and
重
chant
要。
it slowly but more focus? Would that be better?
是不是
Which means
受的变数
our mindset
重要？
is the quality is more important than the quantity, or should we pay attention to
问题
both?
是说，
So the question is basically
心态重要，还
the mindset
偏数疾病
is more important or the quantity is more important.
那我告诉大家，
And I'm telling all of you,
我个人
for myself personally,
我从来不计数，
I never count.
念什么修什么，从来不
Whatever I chant, whatever I practice, I never record, I never count or record them.
修了多少昙花，或者修
So how many practices
去记，
have I done or whatever? I've never
别这样子做，
count, but I just do it every day.
管他几遍，
It doesn't
没有
matter
计算，
how many times.
也不会说念
I
完
don't have a
就按
counter
完一击按一下这样子。
that you press once after you chant
看
once.
过师尊拿着
No, you never see me carrying that counter.
我的生活就是修行。
My life is spiritual
而
cultivation
且呢，精神集中
and in concentration,
重要，
focus. This is the most
天数
important.
变不重要，
The
几遍
quantity,
不重要，
the amount is not important.
你有没有
Whether you
专
put
一？
your heart in it, whether you focus or not.
你今天的功课做好没有？
That's important. Have you done your homework today? Did you procrastinate today?
这个才重要。
These
今
are
天如果偷
important.
懒，
If you're lazy today,
就是鬼。
then you're a ghost for that
我讲
day.
过了，一日不休啊，一日
I've said it. If you don't practice, that day you're a ghost. So you complete your homework every day.
精进，
Very
专
diligent,
一，
very focused,
不偷懒，
never lazy
重要。
or slacking off. I think these are
回
important.
答莲花一族的，
That's
只是
the
偏
answer.
重要。你只要持续做，
So the quantity is not
总
important.
有一
As long as you
天
do
有
it,
成就。
you persevere to do it every day
也不要计较说哦，
and just do a little bit every day,
或者怎么样，
that eventually you would have attainment. You don't need to care whether you would receive any spiritual response or anything happens.
修行
I don't care about those. I just cultivate spiritually and never lazy, never procrastinate, never slack, very diligent,
下去就可以，
and just do it naturally every
否则会
day.
变成法。
That would be good enough. Otherwise, you would be too attached to Dharma.
你持咒这个法，
That I will talk about in the future.
这是法师。
That you grasp Dharma and never let go of it. That's also a kind of attachment.
他的第二个问题，师尊，请
The second question, Grandmaster.
修释迦行，
Now I'm practicing the 4 preliminary practices, which includes the Vajrasattva Dharma
并
practice.
相信菩萨的短寿，
Should I focus
上师心，
in chanting the Vajrasattva short mantra
菩萨相应呢？
more than the Rudguru mantra so that I can gain spiritual response with Vajrasattva? This is an
要求
attachment
金刚经菩萨赶快跟你相应，
because you want to gain spiritual response with Vajrasattva right away or as soon as possible. That's
不
you.
管他相应不相应，
That means you care too much about it. I never care. I just practice it. Doesn't matter when or whether I would gain spiritual response. It will come naturally. No need to ask for it.
他来就
So
不来就不来啊。
what is it for, asking for spiritual response? If it's supposed to come, it'll come. There's no use to strive for it or to ask for it.
对，
You pray, you ask to grandpa, grandma, crying, begging,
没有意思，
crawling, no, meaningless,
就变成法师，
no use, meaningless.
求相应就是
Then that would become Dharma attachment. So if you ask for spiritual response, that means it's a Dharma attachment.
性价比较最高的方法。
So what is the best way to gain spiritual response with
性
Vajrasattva?
价比较高的方法，我这搞不清楚，你才问
The question is not clear.
相应金刚经菩萨性价比最高的方法。
性价最高的。
另外，请问师尊，能不能先修相
Master, can we
再修金刚经，
practice Rudguru Yoga and gain spiritual response first before we chant Vajrasattva? Because I love to chant the Rudguru mantra and I really love Grandmaster.
那你特别喜欢你就修啊，
If you really love it, then practice it.
跟上师相应呢。
And once you gain spiritual response with the Guru, then it's not far from a spiritual response with Vajrasattva. As I said, once you gain spiritual response with one Dharma practice, you would gain spiritual response with other practices. So I just said that you have Dharma attachment. That was wrong because you like Grandmaster. So why don't you just chant Root Guru mantra and practice Root Guru yoga? And once you gain spiritual response, Grandmaster is Vajrasattva. I've told you before, Vajradhara, Adharma Buddha, and next are the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, which are the 5 Vajra holders. The chief Vajra holder is Adharma Buddha, and the 5 Vajra holders are the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, and next is Vajrasattva or Vajra heart. And he's the 6th Vajra holder, below the 5 Vajra holders. And the lineage Guru is the 7th Vajra holder. And then the masters underneath are the 8th Vajra holders. So once you gain spiritual response with the 7th Vajra holder, it's the same, or it's very close to spiritual response to the 6th Vajra holder. The third question, Grandmaster, in this world, is there a parallel universe? So at the same time, there are different scripts happening in different universes. In another universe, maybe someone is sleeping, very happy or sad. Or the same person, maybe a rich person or a poor or maybe dead. So the same person can be in different universes. This question is pretty deep. So within the same time frame, one person have different place scripts. So the same person in different universe may be doing different things. One is sleeping, one is happy, one is sad, one is rich, one is poor, or one is dead. The same person in different universes. So this question is pretty deep. Yeah, let me tell you. 2,600 years ago, Sakyamuni Buddha had talked about the 3,000 great thousand worlds. He knew then already that there were many or multiple universes, 3,000 great thousand worlds. Not just one solar system. Many solar systems, as proven by science already, that the universe has no borders. Infinite. Where is the borders, the boundary? So Sakyamuni Buddha, so it's truly different between a Buddha and a mundane being. A mundane being is short-sighted, can only see very near to them. But Sakyamuni Buddha is very far-sighted, had talked about 3,000 great thousand worlds. And the observatory equipments could detect that the universe is truly infinite. And they discovered 100 or more solar systems. So it's not just one sun, many of them.
释迦牟尼佛也很厉害。
So Sakyamuni Buddha is also very incredible. At that time, how could anybody knows about germs? But he had said about 84,000 germs in a cup of clean water. So if you don't chant mantra, that means as if you're killing. So he knew that there are germs or bacteria inside a cup of water. Back then, there was no water purification or etc. They drank river water. Sakyamuni Buddha's time, they drank water from the Ganges River. So right before parinirvana of the Buddha, he asked Ananda that he felt exhausted, fatigue, that he was dehydrated, and asked Ananda to go to Ganges River to get some water. But it just so happened that the traders were passing by, so the water was very turbid, so Ananda didn't get any water back for the Buddha. And the Buddha entered into parinirvana because he could not drink the river water. It was very dirty, turbid. So the water that they drank then was water inside the Ganges River. There was no tap water then. And no brushing, teeth brushing or toothpaste or toothpicks. During the era of Sakyamuni Buddha, they may use a stick from a tree and just kind of pick on the teeth. That's teeth brushing. So Sakyamuni Buddha was not easy, it was incredible. He knew about the multiple universes. So you asked the right question here. They may not be parallel. They are multifolded universes, many of them. So in the same time and spatial dimension, there are already many multiple folds of universes. Some of them are your own past lives, your present life, and your future lives. So today, we practice the Padma Kumara Yidam at the Maha Twin Lotus Ponds. So right now, there is also Padma Kumara at the Maha Twin Lotus Ponds. So Padma Kumaras are there. So the tantric spiritual cultivation is that the Padma Kumara in samsara is in union with the Padma Kumara of the Maha Twin Lotus Ponds, and that's called a spiritual union or yogic union. So this kind of thinking, we can say, is a little bit transcendental comparing to the current mundane people. They don't see anything, they don't know anything. But Sakyamuni Buddha knew already long ago about the multiple universes and also the invisible germs. So thank you to Lian Hua Yiru from Malaysia.
This
joke doesn't seem right. One day, Xiao Tian went on a dating, and when it was during a nice chat, he wanted to flirt. So he asked the girl, "Do you know the sound of woodpecker?" And the girl said no. And then he was trying to imitate it. As he was imitating, he farted. And after that, the guy asked the girl, "So now you know, right?" And the girl replied, "You know, sorry, I did not hear how the woodpecker, the sound of woodpecker because you farted too loud." The son of Master Lian Han is right there. When your dad was still alive, he shared this, not a joke, but a truth. He said that when he was dating in the past, he did not dare to fart. This is Master Lian Han. This is Master Lian Han. So, but after the date, when he's not near the girlfriend anymore, he would fart as much as he could. Nowadays, it's like that. So when you're around with the girlfriend, you don't dare to fart. You try to hold it as much as you can, and then until you say bye-bye, and then you walk a little bit further, like to a little alley or something, and then start it to let it out. And before and after marriage are totally two different things. After you get married, you don't care anymore. You fart anytime. Both the man and the woman. So in the house, it's not this one, that one. It keeps farting, letting out. That was spoken by Master Lian Han, not me. During the pandemic, you should not stay outside. And this is called, you have nowhere to go. And the upper couplet, when there's an earthquake, you ran out. And then in the pandemic, you go in. So it's difficult to go out or in or out. But nowadays, with earthquake and pandemic, I don't know what to do anymore. When there's an earthquake, should I wear my pants first or my mask? And you can get pneumonia in the pandemic, right? So the virus for pneumonia said, "Brother, they're all hiding in their house. How do I infect them?" And the brother said, "Just wait, let me shake them."
下联是在家怕地震，
So you're afraid
左右为难。
of the pandemic when you go out, you're afraid of the earthquake when you stay in. And the upper writing would be, it's difficult, left or right.
请戴好口罩，不要中了
Please wear your mask.
离山之计。
Well, don't be tricked by the earthquake.
昨天晚上10点半。
Last night at 10:30, I got a phone call from a stranger.
到了11点，那个人又打。
Are you Arthur? And he said no. At 11, he called again. Arthur, are you asleep? And I said the wrong number.
到了12点，电话又响。
Midnight, the phone rang again. Arthur, what are you doing? I got angry. There's no Arthur here.
凌晨4点。
And at 4 a.m., I couldn't sleep.
那个电话。
I thought about those phones, so I called back.
睡意朦胧。
And that person was asleep, like, who are you?
没事，我只想。
What's up? I said,
找
no,
到阿德没有？
no, I just want to find out if you found Arthur.
这真的很无聊的笑话。
What a meaningless
我
joke.
们结晶。
Now, we'll continue on the Vimalakirti Sutra.
因为啊，这个维摩诘
Because Vimalakirti,
法会
in this huge ceremony, there were many bodhisattvas in attendance.
有32000吧。
There were 32,000 of them, right? Yes.
有32000菩萨。
Yeah.
来的菩萨有32000多的菩萨。
So there were 32,000 bodhisattvas
介绍3
came to attend, and I cannot introduce all of them one by one. Then it will take over a year to expound on the Vimalakirti Sutra. So here, they just listed 52 bodhisattvas here. And of these 52 bodhisattvas,
上回已经跟大家讲了什么是等观菩萨。
last time Grandmaster has explained about the bodhisattva with the view of equality, bodhisattva with the view of inequality, and bodhisattva with the view of both equality and inequality. Both equality and inequality.
还有一个不等观菩萨。
So at that time, I found this name strange. So, or a different way to say the names: equal view bodhisattva, unequal view bodhisattva, and equal and unequal view bodhisattva.
它非常有含义。
So actually, these names are very meaningful. I have explained this before. What is the equal view bodhisattva? So this is the bodhisattva who view sentient beings equally. He believes that all sentient beings are equal. Why? Because he had gained the wisdom of true emptiness. In the wisdom of true emptiness, why all sentient beings are equal? Because the Buddha natures are equal. Sakyamuni Buddha has said that all sentient beings have Buddha nature.
那我们活在这世界上幻身啊，
So living in this world,
幻觉的幻，
we have illusory body. So we are born because we have illusory
是真实的，
sensation or
虚
illusion.
幻。
So this Saha world is not real. It's
证
illusory.
明了这一点，
Once you
所有一切的种
recognize and comprehend this, all sentient beings are illusory
这个平等，
too.
大家都
That's why everyone is equal.
并没有差别，
No differences.
能够领悟到真空智，
so you can comprehend the wisdom of true emptiness, then they are called the equal view bodhisattva. And what is unequal view bodhisattva? That means he had gained the wisdom of discernment, because living in this world, there are sages and they are fools, dumb, stupid. Sometimes we scold people so dumb. But that name, Yichun, is a Dharma sister's name, Jasmine. The Dharma sister who is studying at the Osaka University in Japan. Her Chinese name is Yichun. Everybody called her dumb, stupid, dumb and stupid. Where was I? I'm talking about people having some differences. Some people are very rushed, some people are very slow, some people are very fast. I have said it. We were climbing the Rainbow Hill right behind the building there. We were climbing or climbing halfway up, and my mom was still at the bottom, and we waited for a long time, and finally reached us. So I asked her, "Mom, how come you walk so slowly?" And she looked at me and said, "You'd know when you're my age. When you're old, now I know. It takes me half an hour to brush my teeth, to shower, to wash. To wash up takes about half an hour. And then to shave my head, it also takes time. In the morning, it takes about half an hour. And then go to the restroom for half an hour. Bathing half an hour, brushing teeth half an hour, shaving my head another half an hour, and altogether 2 hours. What? So it makes me short of time when I write. How come I become so slow? Can I be faster? I cannot. You will know when you're old. You will walk slower, you cannot run. And you cannot have extensive sport. Where was I again? So that's the wisdom of discernment. Cannot be too intense. So kids, youngsters, middle age, old age, they are differences. So that's in the wisdom of discernment. So things that you could do when you were young, you cannot do anymore. And I've said it that I could do the big wheel and small wheel in the gymnast bar. I have many styles that I could do. Like what they did in the Olympics, the single bar, double bar gymnastics, all I could do when I was young. But now, if I hang on the bar, it would look like hanging a fat pig. Simu kept discouraging me to get on that bar, because then the hands are still up there, but the person's already down. Do you know whether you have osteoporosis? There are differences in human beings, also mentally and psychologically. Really. Some people are depressed. Some people are restless. They have some psychological problems. Some are twisted. They're all different. This is called the wisdom of discernment. The one who has gained the wisdom of discernment that can observe sentient beings is called the unequal view bodhisattva. And then how about the equal and unequal view bodhisattva? As I have said before, when you combine the two, so you have gained the wisdom of true emptiness and the wisdom of discernment, and then you harmonize the two and apply them to life, then you would be the equal and unequal view bodhisattva. Let me give you an example. I asked Vimalakirti how to make analogy, and this. They are both made of bronze. The Vajra scepter is made of bronze, and the Vajra bell is also made of bronze. So they are both bronze. So that's equal view bodhisattva. And what is unequal view bodhisattva? They have different shape. One is a scepter, one is a Vajra bell. They're different. So a Vajra scepter is different from a Vajra bell. A Vajra scepter is very strong, and the Vajra bell can give sound. See, they're different. So that's unequal view. The view of inequality. So although they're both made of bronze, but they're different. And then when I ring the bell, so the Vajra scepter and Vajra bell together, that's called the combination, the harmony. And that would be the view of both equality and inequality. So Vimalakirti understands politics too, let me tell you. I said, give me another example. What is the view of equality, and what is the view of inequality, and what is the view of both equality and inequality? Can you give me peoples as examples? And Vimalakirti said, pay attention. They're all in politics. Now we are talking about the Western countries, which refer to America, Canada, Australia, and they call themselves freedom, the free world, the free world. And then when we mention Russia, China, North Korea, they are called what's that called?
不是我讲的。那自由，西方标榜我们是自由民主。
So the free world said that they have freedom, and then they're the controlled countries or controlled world. So the free world is the view of equality. But even freedom is not applied that way.
没有人管你，
Like in America,
对
it's
不对？
it's freedom in America, so nobody cares if you wear a mask or not. Someone say, how come you don't wear a mask?
Americans, states American. It's freedom. 我不戴口罩，
They would say, this is
戴口
America.
罩，没有
Then
人
they don't wear masks and nobody can do anything.
我在讲freedom 自由。我告诉你，自由其实是
And they talk about freedom, but actually freedom is also restricted.
我讲一个自由的故事给你们听。
Let me share a story about freedom.
那时候刚刚开始自由，大家在喊自
In
由
the。beginning, when the people started to exclaim
他
freedom,
一坐下来就把他很大的行李
someone got on a train and sat and put a huge bag next to his seat. But all the seats were taken, so someone got in and
座位上的这个人
asked the person sitting next to the
可
bag,
以放在这个椅子上。
how come you place your bag on the seat?
那是我的
And he replied, that's my freedom.
我自由啊，我的自由，我就是
I have the freedom
放在
to put my bag on the seat next to me.
这个人也不说话，
And the other person did not say anything, and he took the bag
车窗外，
and then threw it out of the window.
说你怎么可以丢掉我的行
And
李？
then he asked, how could you throw my bag
这是我的
out?
自由。
And he replied, it's my freedom.
所以这个自由不能乱用，
So you cannot use freedom haphazardly.
让你自由。
It's only freedom underneath the law or within the laws. So do you understand?
我们讲说自由是等观，我们平等。
So freedom is the same as the view of
就
equality.
算等观菩萨，
So in the free world, that's the view of equality. And how about the Bodhisattva with the view of inequality? In the
要收这个
control world,
作为
is like when the government said, well, we want to use this piece of land for
不
something.
要收了，那没办法，因为政府既然要买我这块土地，我就卖了。其实是很贵的，平时在讲，
And
但政府要收，就是平价来收。
this piece of land was very expensive, but because the government needs it, then it would be taken by the government.
是可以动员所有的人去做某一些事情，但是在
And
自由
in this
之下，
autocracy
不能够动员
country,
所有人去做任何事情。
they can move all the people to do a certain thing, but not in the free country. The same with houses.
但是在专制底下，你可以说好，
In the autocratic country, with one
每
order,
一天7点，大家一起出来做早操，哪里有台秀？
that every day at 7 a.m. they would play music and everybody exercise
突摸，就是这样子
together,
exercise 啊，运动，
exercise
而且
together.
所有街上的人全部都是出来运动做。
Then everybody on the street would exercise
还
together.
是一个动作，
And because of
就是专制。
the command by the government, and that's in an autocratic
维摩诘讲说，我们
government.
讲专制不好，
And Vimalakirti says that we cannot say which one is better or worse. Both are
各
good
有长短。
because each has its own positive and negative
中国
sides.
人做一条高速铁路，
For Chinese to build a high-speed
马上就成了。
rails, immediately it's done. For Americans to build one,
刷没有了，
it's gone.
做不出来。
The project's gone.
啊，中
Could
国
never
做一
finish.
条高速铁路，
But China,
1个月就给它完
Mainland China, can finish them in a few months for the huge bridge across above the ocean or high-speed rails, just months. But for America, it may take hundreds of years. 30 years just to build the high-speed rails in America. And not even done yet. It's very difficult to get anything done. That's why it doesn't have many high-speed rails. What we use now are old. All the bridges and the roads are quite old in America. But America, in the autocratic government, whatever they want to do is very fast and it gets done. So Vimalakirti said, equality and inequality. Let me tell you, in the free country, that their laws are not so limiting to you, but in an autocratic government, the government manages or control the people more, and in the free country it's a little less and it's a little more in the autocratic or in the controlled government. That's all the difference. How they manage, how the governments manage its people, that's all. The most famous Taiwan, the most glorious thing about Taiwan is its frauds. The origin of all fraudulent companies are Taiwan. The origin was from Taiwan. There's a fraudulent group originally came from Taiwan. But when they caught those fraud swindlers and then send them back to Taiwan, it's so easy in Taiwan that they just be caught and then let go right away. But if they were prosecuted in China, it would be horrible. So there was a big difference between the two sides. They're different. So think about it a little bit, ponder on it. One is the view of equality, the other one is the view of inequality, and we should combine the two. So the democratic government and autocratic government should be combined, and that would be the view of both equality and inequality. When you combine and harmonize it just right, the two, and when it's done marvelously and perfectly, then there would be a bodhisattva with the view of equality and inequality. So the free government is the bodhisattva with the view of equality, and the controlled government is the bodhisattva with the view of inequality. And when you combine the two, then it's not too tight, which is the autocratic. But if it's too loose, that's the democratic. But when it's just right, then there would be the bodhisattva with the view of equality and inequality. I didn't. That was not my view or my opinion. That was Vimalakirti's. So now, do you know? Vimalakirti stated. He gave me another example for me. Like a tree, we often heard this. Like yesterday, Master Changlun said that our Skanda Bodhisattva and Sangarama Bodhisattva came or sculpted out of a tree. The whole tree, 2 huge Bodhisattva statues, Skanda and Sangarama, 2 great Bodhisattvas. So 1 tree, and you cut it into 2. And the top one is made into Sakyamuni Buddha, and the bottom part was made into a toilet cover. And human beings join their palms, pay homage to the statue of Sakyamuni Buddha, but they were sculpted out of the same tree and praised and chanted in front of it. And the other one, we sat on it and poop. According to what Vimalakirti said, the wood that was made into Sakyamuni Buddha, it's the same tree, right? The same tree. So that's the Bodhisattva with the view of equality. And when they were made into a Buddhist statue and a toilet cover, that's the Bodhisattva with the view of inequality. But you need to understand their benefits or functions. Like if you don't sit on the toilet seats, okay, in the winter it would be uncomfortable and cold. And then when you pray to the Buddhist statue that was sculpted from that tree, you feel very good and at peace. So that's... And when you sit on the toilet, then when it feels comfortable and good, that's also the view of equality and inequality. But the view of 1 tree, that's the view of equality. And cut into 2, made into different things, the view of inequality. But the benefits, that's the view of both equality and inequality. So I'm explaining it to you. What is the Bodhisattva with the view of equality? What is the Bodhisattva with the view of inequality? And what is the Bodhisattva with the view of both equality and inequality? Vimalakirti gave me 3 examples and told me to tell everybody, to explain it to everybody. Then everybody would know what the view of equality is, the view of inequality is, and combining them into the view of both equality and inequality. So there are 3 kinds of bodhisattvas. Now, are you clear? So we cannot say that the free or democratic government is good. That's why it's quite scary for Grandmaster to go out, especially when driving Rolls-Royce. It's filling in a gas, and several cars were looking with and called people and talk to me, and so I carry my bag tight on me because there's some precious things inside. Too much freedom, then it becomes uncontrolled, what a mess. And China is good because everyone is the same. If you're in a bad mood, you can use your fists instead. At least you don't use guns.
管理老百姓管理的比较严。
So they are more strict in
两边应该综合。
controlling their people. And America is too loose, but we should combine both, not too loose and not too strict. And so the Western free democracy combined with the Eastern controlled autocracy, that would be the Bodhisattva with the view of equality and inequality. Xiao Ming's dad brought a robot home, and the robot would slap someone who lies really hard. And one day, Ming got home and Dad asked Ming, "Where did you go? It's so late." And Ming said, "Oh, I was studying at school." So the robot came and slapped Ming. And Dad said, so the robot is a lie detector, you could tell. So tell me honestly, I watched a movie. And what movie? And Ming said, 10 Commandments. This playoff was Chinese, but actually it's the other movie. And you know, what? You watched that movie? When I was your age, I never did that. And then the robot slapped him to death. And the mom working in the kitchen laughed and came out and said, "So you really like father like son?" And then the robot slapped the mom. It turned out that that wasn't the father's son. So you really are father and son, and that's a lie too. I remember that was a joke. Xiao Ming told Dad one day, "Dad, I know your secret," and Dad was really worried and nervous, like, "Oh, I'll give you $500, never tell anyone." And Ming was really happy. Wow, if I say about secret, I would get money. And then he got smart, and Mom got home, and Mom, I know your secret. And Mom also got very anxious and said, "I'm giving you $5,000 and never tell anybody." And me was like, "Wow, that's so great. Hey, I get all this money. Dad gave me 500, Mom gave me 5,000. It's good knowing adults' secret. Never tell anybody, okay?" Mom said. And Ming said, no. And the postman came. And he told, "Hey, postman, I know your secret." And the postman cried. Tears fell from his eyes. "Oh, now you know and you're dead." Om Mani Padme Hum.